Всем привет, дамы и господа, с вами Алекс Азаренко. Топ-30 величайших рок-песен всех времен. Watch, мукбанг, реакт, скитл с мармеладками. Давайте начинать. Светлая память тебе, Курт. Вы сейчас, возможно, охуеете, но мне ремикс радио больше понравился, чем оригинал. Вот так вот, да. Я меломан, у меня есть рок в плейлисте, но Smells Like Teen Spirit там нету. Да, hello.
Welcome to Watch
Как-то на небесах, Курт.
Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the best, most important, and or most unforgettable rock tracks ever.
Я думаю, сейчас будет... Я думаю, тут знаю штук 20. Ну, 15. Я в реакции на топ песен про песни 80-х проебался. Но все-таки это зарубежный канал. Все-таки у них свои популярные хиты.
Number 30, London Calling, The Clash. After pursuing punk
Рояль.
rock for...
О, еще.
Number 30, London Calling, The Clash.
Of course.
After pursuing punk rock for several years, The Clash expanded their horizons on London Calling. The title song is one of their finest anthems. It brings together many of their political and social themes into one striking track.
London calling to the faraway towns. Now war is declared and battle come down.
Joe Strummer leads the charge with his vocals, with the frontman accompanied by some driving guitars. Musically, the group generates a strong sound for both punk and rock fans to enjoy.
'Cause London is drowning out.
Бля, в натуре у реки.
The river.
The apocalyptic story buzzes through your speakers with an urgent tone. With this exciting track, the band evolved their sound and capitalized on their earlier career.
And after all this, won't you give me a smile?
Number 29, Red Rain, Peter Gabriel.
The Rain, Peter Gabriel.
With his fifth solo record, Peter Gabriel achieved one of his biggest successes. The album So
Success.
garnered attention for hits like In Your Eyes and Red Rain. With a thundering
Blood Rain.
intro, the latter track features some awesome percussion.
Даня Кашин.
Rain is coming down.
Пока ничего от рока не слышу.
Gabriel's songwriting paints a beautiful picture while rocking the house. Starting with the title, the singer's evocative imagery only adds to the overall production. His smooth vocals do justice to a stunning piece of music.
Звучит эпично.
He and co-producer Daniel Lanois craft a cinematic track, giving audiences a richly textured vision. It's also another reason to explore the album beyond hits like Sledgehammer.
Rain is coming down all over me.
Попахивает синтепопом.
Number 27, Layla, Derek and the Dominoes. The opening riff immediately sets the tone, prepping listeners
Ну, 80-е, 90-е попадем, может быть, там что-то узнаю.
for a rock adventure. Derek and the Dominoes might have been a one-off band, but this record sums up their genius. Eric Clapton takes the vocal and offers a
Ну, и Эрика Клэптона, конечно, знаю.
masterclass on lead guitar.
What will you do when you get older? Nobody's
Реакции записываю.
waiting by your side.
His work in the first section might
Это правда.
even be a career best. Once the unorthodox love story ends, a piano coda takes you away on a melancholic ride. With Dwayne Allman's slide guitar, the dreamy conclusion achieves what few rock instrumentals ever could.
Got me on my knees. I'm thinking, darling, please.
The haunting music even inspired the likes of Martin Scorsese for his film Goodfellas.
Мартин Скорсезе. О, это же Марв.
Number
Привет, Марв.
27, All the Young Dudes, Mott the Hoople. This band is perhaps best remembered for this masterpiece. Written by David Bowie, the
Святая память.
song was recorded for their fifth album of the same name. It's a definitive classic of the 1970s rock scene.
And when you're stealing clothes from Marks and Sparks, and Freddy's got spots for
Socks.
ripping up the stars.
Socks.
Singer Ian Hunter gives some of his coolest vocals, doing Bowie's lyrics justice with his performance. Mott the Hoople more than earned the chance to play this song. In some cases, people might not even realize the identity of the author. The group gives a rocking effort that captures the highest highs of glam. Influencing a number of acts, Hoople's version could be called a mainstay for a generation of musicians and music fans. For a generation of musicians and music
Так, это как-то по-другому делается. Вот так. Во.
fans. Number 26, Paranoid, Black Sabbath. Whether or not they
Вот тут уже попахивает чем-то знакомым.
invented heavy metal,
Эх, Ози. Жалко, что ты больше не ходишь.
Black Sabbath clearly had a hand in shaping the rock subgenre. They were also one of the most merciless acts of their time. Their second album
Беспощадных к летучим мышам, блядь. Ам-нам-нам-нам-нам, блядь.
featured the furious song Paranoid.
О, да. Да. Раз. Одну знаю.
Tony Iommi's opening guitar riffs might have created 1,000 imitators, with metalheads hoping to sound. Tony Iommi's
Тысяча подражателей.
opening guitar riffs might have created 1,000
И я думал, тут написано 1000 подражателей металлистов. Типа есть true, а есть lame.
imitators, with metalheads hoping to sound
Ну или как вы там это в роке называете? Рокеры на месте?
half as good. Sabbath also had
Хуй знает, может быть, среди 3 человек, кто посмотрит этот видос. Я, блядь, знаю, что реакция на очень мало собирает. Но главное заниматься тем, что ты любишь.
bassist Geezer Butler and drummer Bill Ward to kick things up a notch.
Можно мне вокал Ози?
Rounding out the four-piece, Ozzy Osbourne's earth-shattering voice sealed the deal. It's a legendary track that set a course for heavier and scarier sounds in rock. Number 25, Land of Confusion,
Ну, клип мне этот попадался.
Genesis. Through many incarnations, Genesis made sure they didn't fall under one label. The band entered the 1980s with a more rock and pop-focused sound.
There's too many men, too many people, making too many problems.
They also managed to create this track full of great lyrics and instrumentation. Phil Collins delivers his vocals with sheer
Ага, блядь, это группа, в которой пел Фил Коллинз, нихуя себе.
force, building out his criticisms of politicians
Ну, я сразу понял, что это он.
and beyond. Land of Confusion showed that a group could redefine themselves over a decade into a legendary career.
Бля, это Майкл Джексон? Светлая память, Майкл. Я, кстати, играл в игру про тебя. Бля, это чё? Бля, как прикольно. Это, знаете, как с группой мусора. The Police. Там пел Стинг, а потом у него была охуенная сольная карьера. Вот тут также. У него была... Фил Коллинз пел в охуенной группе, потом у него была охуенная сольная карьера и куча легендарных хитов. Эта песня, кстати, не была в топе легендарных, величайших песен 80-х. Там была другая песня Коллинза. Ну ладно.
It also revealed that they could write a much harder rock song than
Кукольники оттянулись, блядь.
anyone could have guessed. Collins and his bandmates find a way to shock the audience's senses.
Это живой человек, иди нахуй. Куклы правят в этом клипе.
Number 24, Back
Ну это, конечно, все знают.
in Black, AC/DC. The Australian band conquered the rock genre in the 1970s, but they kept growing
Два.
in the 1980s. They'd lost Bon Scott, but they also found a new talent with Brian Johnson. Back in Black helps introduce another frontman with otherworldly vocals. With the Young Brothers bringing their A-game, the guitar parts hit you right in the chest. The track gives the group one of their signature pieces. From an awesome album, this title song showed that AC/DC was only getting started in a different decade. The bandmates come together for a rip-roaring good time. It's one
Come together!
that you want to play loud, with the instruments giving listeners a huge boost of energy. Number 23, Panama, Van Halen, lighting up
Но это не джамп, поэтому я не знаю.
the hard rock scene. Van Halen occupies an important space between the 1970s and 1980s. They also have a ton of recognizable hits like Panama.
Судя по тому, что они не носят Панама, я думаю, это песня про страну.
As the highlight of every tune, Eddie Van Halen reminds listeners of his artistry throughout the track. The guitarist lights up this songwriting with his signature licks. As the
У него есть крутая гитара Джек Дэниелс, а у меня есть крутой мужик 100%, гель для душа.
highlight of every tune,
Я хотел пойти показать, но нахуя вставать?
songwriting with his signature licks. Not to be outdone, David Lee Roth also reminds
Классная фамилия. Рот.
you why he's an unforgettable frontman. Add in some cool backing vocals and you
Крутые растяжки.
have a recipe for rock success. You also get to hear Alex Van Halen's drums and Michael Anthony's bass, with the others filling out
This is bass. Это база. Твердо и четко.
a killer rhythm section.
Мне нравится, какие движения делает толпа.
Number 22, My Hero, Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
In over 2 decades of solid work, Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters have created their fair share of rock staples. Their second album, The Color and the Shape,
Цвета и овца.
includes the memorable single My Hero.
Это чё, выглядит как... You beautiful, beautiful things, please stay. Вот это... Он выглядит как Бенсон Бун.
It's the kind of song that pays tribute to heroic people and gives you an uplifting feeling. Underneath it all,
Я думал, это будет... Hero.
the production is complete with some heavy-hitting drum parts. There's also the intense growl of Grohl at the forefront.
Ну, клип охуенный.
The sharp vocals and music make for one of the band's signature songs. You also hear an impressive bridge, building up to a dramatic drum roll that you will not forget. Number 21, Freebird, Lynyrd Skynyrd. These southern rockers have a style all their own, with many hits from the 1970s. Freebird might be their most enduring effort. While it became a joke to call it out, the track itself is anything but a cliche.
'Cause I'm as free as a bird now.
Lynyrd Skynyrd created what might be one of the perfect closers in rock history.
Но фамилию Скиннер я, конечно, возможно, где-то слышал это имя и фамилию Линард Скиннер.
Ronnie Van Zant guides listeners through some introspective lyrics, setting up the end jam. The latter part is a mix of multiple guitars rocking out.
О, ну вот это все знают. Вот это все знают, вот этот джем. Давайте зачтем. 3.
group's original lineup set a high standard with their recording, but the newer members carried on the legacy. It's a defining tune for a musical act known for their spirited work.
Won't you fly free, bird, yeah.
Number 20, I Want You to Want Me, Cheap Trick. Through the art of power pop, Cheap Trick created some of the catchiest rock tunes of the 1970s and 1980s. Rick Nielsen plays lively guitar riffs and Bunny Carlos lays down
Нихуя у него палочки.
smooth drum tracks.
Блять, такие можно 3 сушены в рот положить, блять.
I Want You to Want Me almost feels like a rock standard at this point. Using Nielsen's songwriting, singer Robin Zander and bassist Tom Peterson add to the entertaining sound. It's also a sincere and clever way to prove a point about love. From the introduction to the musical climax, this single grabs you by the lapels and doesn't let go. Number 19, Rockin' in the Free World, Neil Young. After working with various bands, Neil Young set out on a fruitful solo career. The 1980s allowed him to go even further with his rock roots. Rockin' in the Free World showed that Young hadn't lost his youthful spirit either.
Это не Ангус Янг, поэтому я его не знаю.
It's something of a call to action that just about everyone can enjoy. The lyrics push people to consider their surroundings and be true to themselves.
Послушайте современный наш рок, ну, который популярен. Как один блогер назвал ТикТок роком. Там вообще не хиты про... Там вообще не про... Она хочет отправить в школу, она хочет записать хит. Там про другое. Реакция на последний альбом «3 дня дождя» на канале. Послушайте и поймете.
With a strong political voice, the vocalist gives
Ёб твою мать, политический голос, нахуй.
one of his strongest performances
Я впервые слышу, чтобы про голос говорили политический.
ever. The singer managed to do so much with just a handful of chords and an important message. Number 18, Go Your Own Way, Fleetwood Mac. Writer
Вот это название я слышал. Fleetwood Mac.
Lindsey Buckingham outdid himself with this masterful track. As part of Fleetwood Mac, he released one of the most meaningful breakup songs of the 1970s.
You can go your own way. Go your own way.
Off of the album Rumors, Buckingham
Rumors.
charts a course for moving on and starting something new. Not even the band's internal drama could prevent this from being a work of art. There are some compelling verses leading up to a cathartic chorus. Along the way, there's even a solo from the underrated guitarist. It has all the ingredients of a song that's both of its era and timeless. With the evocative story, this single stands out among the group's finest efforts. Number 17, Smoke on the Water.
О, да. Это знаю. 4. Smoke is the water.
Deep Purple. This might be considered an easy riff, but it's also become part of music history. It's
О, 17. Прям как мне сейчас.
one of the essential parts every guitarist should learn when they're starting out. Other than the great instrumental, this entertaining track also features an iconic story. The lyrics describe a real incident that happened at a Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention concert. Since the smoke is literal, the gritty details become all the more memorable.
The Frank Zappa and the Mothers were at the best place around.
You
Это мы.
also get to hear Ian Gillan's remarkable vocals. Reading like a
Ладно, нет.
tense drama, this foundational single feels like the essence of classic rock.
Smoke on the water, a fire in the sky.
Number 16, Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen. On
Знакомое имя?
one of his most important records, Bruce Springsteen created one of his most beloved works. Born to Run includes all of the boss's signature themes and musical abilities.
42, братуха.
At night we ride through mansions of glory, suicide machines.
There are so many elements packed into this number, and each one feels better than the next. You have the mighty saxophone of Clarence Clemens as well as the rhythmic drums of Ernest Carter. The lyrics make you want to get up, get out, and run to your
Бля, если бы я это слушал, когда был бы подростком именно в те времена, когда вышла эта песня, я бы слушал, я люблю саксофон.
next goal. Springsteen is on
У меня полно песен, где есть саксофон.
fire here as both a musician and a poet for the ordinary man.
We walk in the sun, until it shines like us. Baby, we were born to run.
Number 15, Dream On, Aerosmith.
О, да. 5.
It's hard to
Раз, два, 4, 5!
believe that Aerosmith
Как я говорил в прошлой реакции на Чака.
released this song on their first album.
Ёб твою мать, не так давно, 73-й год.
Even in the early 70s, Steven Tyler had a voice to rival anyone in rock. He and his
Зрители, я вас не вижу.
bandmates perform a ballad that hasn't lost any of its power.
Вау, я такой вокал не слышал. Слышал более обычный. Просто Sing the winner, sing the winner.
It seems way ahead of its time in terms of production, writing, and stellar performances. The band was just getting started, but they were already wise beyond their
Ладно.
years.
Sing women, sing for the year, sing for the left and sing for the tear.
This is the kind of song to inspire even the most downtrodden listener. Dream On
Я вспоминаю песню Оззи Осборна про мечту, которая крутится на канале Бридж. Классик.
is a profound and motivational speech set to fantastic music.
Sing winners just for today, maybe tomorrow the good Lord take it away.
Number
6. Эту песню, клип на эту песню вы тоже можете увидеть на Бридж Классик.
14, Hotel California, Eagles. When you think of
Я дохуя раз слышу, что это легендарная песня, когда вот начал смотреть Бридж Классик летом прошлого года, посматривать. Я видел этот клип.
the Eagles, you might first consider the title track of Hotel California.
Я наконец-то прикоснулся к этой легенде.
It could arguably be their magnum opus. In a more rock-focused direction, the band put sweet guitar licks at the forefront. Don
Арго.
Henley's vocals tell the story of a mysterious place with imaginative details. In between colorful words, you get to hear the dynamic guitars of Don Felder and Joe Walsh.
Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year.
Their extended solos could be their own separate song. While the band was known for their internal feuds, this track represented
Turn a feud.
what they could achieve in between the fights.
You can check out any time you like.
Но я не уйду от реакции одного чмоджа в любой момент. Не уйду.
You can never leave.
Number 13, Black, Pearl Jam. With
Pearl Jam. Название знакомое.
Without a doubt, 10 is one of the more outstanding debuts of the 1990s. The album includes singles such as Even Flow and deeper cuts like Black. With some of the
И что-то там переводить Black.
group's best playing, the latter tune features all the highs of their biggest hits. Eddie Vedder's voice serenades the audience in a moody mix of heartache and nostalgia.
And all I thought her was
Хороший, ностальгичный голос прям.
everything.
Combining their strings, Stone Gossard, Jeff Ament, and Mike McCready strike a perfect balance.
Макриди, Макривский, забанный на Твичи.
The bandmates bring together a song that's much deeper than any grunge cliches. In a vulnerable performance, Pearl Jam uses every wail and guitar stroke to find their emotional core.
All been
Number 12.
Семь.
Hound Dog, Elvis Presley. At the dawn of rock and roll, Elvis Presley came ready to perform. This cover of a Big Mama Thornton single gave him another opportunity to become a star.
Я видел в видосах Watch More, как тёлки орали, когда Элвис начинал.
He immediately stands out, throwing his entire voice into a catchy production.
Well, they said you was high class. Well, that was just a lie.
His performances of Hound Dog on television revealed his vocal and dance abilities. Presley's version is one of his signatures, showing an artist that's destined to be a legend.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Покажите тот момент, блядь.
Crying all the time.
He helps mix blues and rockabilly sounds into a groundbreaking record. Not afraid to be bold, the singer helped usher in a new genre during a transformative decade. The singer helped usher in a new genre during a transformative decade.
Это штука, которую используют в повторах на боях.
This work captures him on the rise, with a
В боях на ютубе иногда.
fiery attitude that shook up audiences.
Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit. You ain't no friend of mine.
Number 11. Johnny B. Good, Chuck Berry. You can argue
Еще одно знакомое легендарное имя.
about the king of rock, but you cannot discount the contributions of Chuck Berry. He's one of the best
Чтобы вы не подумали... Светлая память. Все. Дело...
singer-songwriters of the
Дело сделано.
genre. Berry's trademark Johnny B. Good has everything you could want from an early rocker.
There stood a log cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named
Слышал вроде бы, но нет, не уверен.
Johnny B. Good.
It's catchy,
Хотя не, вроде слышал. 8.
filled with upbeat guitar parts, and full of iconic lyrics. Many generations of listeners have enjoyed this lively tune. Hordes of musicians have been influenced by this recording, with some even covering it themselves.
Go, 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 Johnny, go, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go.
Возможно, где-то я версию и Beatles слышал.
The-
И Beatles.
Music even finds a place in film history as an essential part of Back to the Future. No matter your age, you
А я, кстати, играл в игру. По третьей части.
can sing and dance to it all these years later.
Go, Johnny, go, go, go.
Блин, ну Джонни Go 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 я точно слышал. 8. Короче, 8.
Johnny B. Good.
Number 10. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
9.
Nirvana. On their second studio album, Nirvana broke through to general audiences. This included generation-defining tracks like Smells Like Teen Spirit. This included generation-defining
Теперь, блядь, Курт не начал играть.
tracks like Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Кстати, мне надо будет скачать тот ремикс. Я, блядь, из-за того, что у меня с сенсором проблема, он нахуй меня дохуище песен удалил. Этот, блядь, смартфон ёбаный, блядь. Короче, пришлось перекачивать кучу песен. So, я предпочитаю скачивание стримингу.
Kurt Cobain's songwriting shook listeners to the core, helping to
А еще поразило, как он...
usher out the stale rock bands of the 1980s. Cobain's rage-filled voice and catchy lyrics were a successful combination. With Chris Novoselic's bass and Dave Grohl's drums, the single had a much more rounded and rhythmic sound.
Ну, качает пиздец.
The band used influences from punk, indie, and classic rock to craft their own version of grunge.
Ну, спорить не будем. Курт Кобейн реально панк. Так могут сделать только панки.
Over 30 years later, the hits
Депрессия, все понятно, но, блядь, ну серьезно. И, блядь, это не тот ремикс, ёпта. Надо написать Radio Energy, может так найдется.
still feels as rebellious as ever.
Ну там есть слово teen. А кто слушает рок? Teen. Подростки.
Number 9. Enter Sandman, Metallica.
9.
Metal might be rock at its most extreme.
Да ну нахуй.
Metallica had a hand in making it an art form, with this classic coming off of the Black Album. They greeted a new decade with a shift in their
Я уже слышу, я уже представляю эту мелодию.
style.
Оглянись! 8 рублей! Это из другого трека.
Testing the waters, the band unleashed Enter Sandman in 1991. The nightmarish journey provides audiences with
Мне нравится, что мы начали с 70-х, переходим... Это что у нас прям по временам?
high-intensity riffs. With James Hetfield bringing his iconic voice, the single is impossible to ignore. It's also an incredible and energetic performance from the quartet. Die-hard fans might prefer their earlier work, but this hit still
Дай, мазафака, дай, мазафака, дай.
feels like the best gateway to their deeper catalog.
Сука, хуй найдет. А, может быть это? А, во. Во. Every Hub и Amber Shepherd Heard. Во.
Number 8. Purple Haze, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. You can't talk about
Тоже одно знакомое имя. Светлая память. Я не всем, конечно, получится пожелать пресс, но информацию изучаю, узнаю.
about electric guitar or rock
Короче, я этот ремикс выложу в телеграм-канал.
music without Jimi Hendrix. In 1967, he and his band released the single Purple Haze. It's one track
Purple Haze.
that let the guitarist make his mark.
Бля, мне нравится сочетание этих цветов. Желтый — это мой любимый цвет. Тут у нас сопливо-желтый.
Competing with psychedelic lyrics and sounds, the high-flying guitar parts are nothing short of legendary. You'll be wowed by the effortless moves all the way to the end. He might make it sound easy, but he also plays it like nobody before or since.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
It's yet another example of why he was one of the masters of his instrument. Without him or this song, the genre wouldn't be the same.
Tomorrow or just the end of time.
Number 7. Welcome to the Jungle.
10!
Arriving at the end of the... Number 7. Welcome to the Jungle. Guns
И она была в песне, в топе песен 80-х легендарных.
N' Roses. Arriving at the end of the 1980s, Guns N' Roses showed that hard rock wasn't dead yet. They offered up some of the best songs of the later decade, including Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
We got fun and games. We got everything you want.
The hit gave
И кожаные штаны, как у шамана.
audiences one of their first looks at future legends. Beneath all of the fun, it's a song full of iconic lyrics and sweet guitar playing. Slash is in rare form here, but Ben
Слэш. Слэш как? Друг маразма Слэш? который тоже на гитаре лобает.
Mates like Duff McKagan and drummer Steven Adler only make the track better. Axl Rose sounds like nobody else, pushing his vocal cords to the limit. This highlight from Appetite for Destruction contributed to another exciting era of rock. Number 6, Won't Get Fooled Again, The Who. This
Who? Вчера я пересматривал реакцию Вандау на тренды ТикТока, и там рассказывалось, Алина рассказывала, вот у меня есть по листе вот эта песня, это кавер, изначально это была версия группы Who. Ну, короче, я группу знаю.
band loves to tell stories and craft epic songs. From Roger Daltrey's opening scream to Keith Moon's drumming, this track gives
Кит Мун, очень знакомое имя.
you everything you want from The Who. It's also a standout among other classics on Who's Next.
Чё орёшь, блядь?
Pete Townsend's shredding
Чё орёшь, блядь?
enhances a towering performance from everyone. They were some of the loudest and most enticing musicians of their time, building up their raw energy for a terrific finale.
Just like yesterday, then I'll get on my knees and pray.
This hit certainly proves that you can crank up the volume and send a message. With one of the best four pieces ever, the British rockers bring incredible musicianship to this awe-inspiring tune.
We don't get fooled again. Don't get fooled again.
Number 5, Purple Rain,
11. Святая память.
Prince and the Revolution.
Принц настолько крутой, что сливай Рюци фитанул, блядь.
You could spend hours arguing over his best song, but Purple Rain is not a bad choice. The singer does one of his most emotional vocals ever. His guitar playing also soars to new heights, with a solo to show off even more of his talent. Prince's abilities can't be described in one tune, but this one might be the greatest example of all of his strengths. Paired with the film of the same name, this piece serves as the peak of an amazing movie soundtrack. The rock ballad
Как же I just go to say I love you. У Принца есть Оскар, у Стиви Вандера есть Оскар. Вот и все, блядь.
ultimately sounds like an artist in complete control. Number 4, Another Brick in the Wall.
Ой, 12. Когда я посмотрю British Classic, я так часто видел этот клип, что когда его вижу, я выключаю. Классный клип, вот этот вот, но больше смотреть не хочу. Ну, насмотрелся как будто бы. А, кстати, вы же тоже в детстве по радио слушали именно ремикс этой песни.
Part 2, Pink Floyd. If you don't know the song, you probably know the most famous lyrics. Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 works like a true anthem. From their album The Wall, the band takes aim at tough childhoods and trouble in school.
We don't need no education.
On a musical level, the production makes you want to cause some chaos or lash out. There's even a hint of disco hidden beneath the angst. David Gilmour also packs in a cool solo, countering the bouncy quality of the verses. Writer Roger Waters envisioned an album that could have been a novel, with this hit standing as its own iconic chapter.
Молотки прям диснеевские, нарисованы по-диснеевски.
Number 3, A Day in the Life, The Beatles. On Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the Fab Four elevated their game once more. The psychedelic album ends with A Day in the Life. It might be the best encapsulation of John Lennon and Paul McCartney's writing partnership.
I read the news.
Блин, я точно что-то слышал про это. Святая память. Слава богу, жив. Чего я не могу сказать о Йоко Оне. Да мне насрать, кто-то развалил Битлз. Мне просто музыка пиздец. Кстати, про эту музыку я узнал благодаря Watch Watch.
In the beginning, Lennon sings
Когда смотрел топ-10 худших певцов, переведенное в Watch Watch России.
the headlines in a mournful section. An orchestral break creates a swirling transition into McCartney's upbeat number. Somehow, the two songwriters combined their musical visions without stepping on each other.
Woke up, fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head.
У меня в плейлисте Beatles есть одна песня, это Running Rugby. Я ее слушал в одном видосе, посмотрел топ 100 худших фильмов на Кинопоиске. Там его название упомянули, клип увидел, я послушал, мне пиздец понравилось.
The track spins pop, rock, and orchestra music into one timeless piece. With hypnotic strings, the experimental work builds to a spectacular finish. Number 2, Bohemian
Почему не первая, блядь? 13. Она должна быть на первом, блядь.
Rhapsody, Queen.
Фильм классный.
In a career
Да, там, да, как оказалось, там много неточностей, но кого, но, блядь, я, как человек, который просто захотел посмотреть фильм про Квинов маленький, мне зашло, маленький, ну, блядь, 3-4 года назад, 13-летний, 14-летний.
career of massive hits, Queen builds an undeniable epic with
Кстати, негативной прогрессии, или как это называется, эта песня тоже классно звучит.
Bohemian Rhapsody. The vibrant storytelling is operating on a much higher level than most contemporary acts.
Anyway, the wind blows doesn't really matter.
Freddie Mercury clearly outdid
Светлая память Фредди.
himself in a multi-layered suite that begs for another listen. From a piano ballad to a hard rock outro, this track
Да, в этой реакции много было, перебор.
seems to have everything. Brian May's
Но это того стоило. Они все легенды.
guitar carries the legends through one section, while harmonies fill out another.
If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on, carry on.
It's operatic, anthemic, and
Is a nothing new matter.
entertaining through every single change.
Это из альбома, кстати, «Ночь в опере». Я не слушал этот альбом, я вообще альбомы Queen не слушал. Но, когда скачивал, была обложка с надписью... Да, это опера.
Mercury delivers some of his finest lyrics alongside his fellow bandmates' iconic performances. What more could you ask for?
Nothing really matters to me.
Before we continue,
И первое место.
make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Stairway to Heaven,
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. It's
Led Zeppelin.
easy to call this one of the most famous guitar intros of all time. Many young players dream of being able to replicate it.
When I look to the west and my spirit is crying for leaving.
From Jimmy Page's work to Robert Plant's lyrics, Stairway to Heaven is a definitive rock statement. Led Zeppelin released the song during one of their high points in the early 1970s. Blending rock and folk together, the group evolved their sound and artistry.
Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know?
It's hard to imagine recent music history without this piece. Some might call it overrated, but the song still means so much to one of rock's most elite lineups.
The stairway to heaven.
Did we
13. Неплохо.
forget another legendary rock
По-любому, по-любасу.
track? Let us know in the comments below.
Окей. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал, жмите на колокольчик, чтобы не пропускать новые видео, пишите комментарии, задайте комментарии в телегу. С вами был Александр Заренко. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Всем пока.